Sorry. Why can I not get it to turn? Hold on just a second. I'm so sorry, everybody. Okay, so it's going to be that night, shall we? All right, I apologize. I am running super late tonight, and now my phone's not working. So I am going to log in real quick, and we will get to your questions. Again, I apologize for being late and not being ready. Sorry. Okay. So we're just going to get into the questions, and we will keep going. And unfortunately, I don't think... Nope. Sure won't turn. I apologize. Okay, so Trudy's in the house says, how many jumbo wilds can you put in a 24-inch by 24-inch cage, and how far behind are you with the jumbo wild eggs? Any jumbos will take about a week to 2 weeks to order, and jumbo wilds will be on the website tomorrow around midday. So jumbo wilds will be December 7th. Jumbo mix will be back on the website December 14th. And jumbo white wings will be back on the website January 1st. The 24-inch by 24-inch is 2 by 2, so that's 4 square feet. 4 times 3 would be 12, so you could put about 12. Yeah, 12 quail in there. We recommend with jumbos 3 quail per square foot is what we recommend. Again, I'm so sorry for being late again. I hate doing that, but Veronica says, do you leave the viewing light on in your cabinet incubator? Do chicks develop better in light or dark? It doesn't really matter either way. We leave the light on most of the time. There's sometimes where we'll candle on Friday and leave it off, but no, there's no change in that at all. But typically we leave the light on just because I like the way it looks, really. Linda is in the house. Welcome. I ordered a nice quail family unit from Myshire farm. I got my first 4 eggs November 30th. The first I went out and the females had kicked the butt out of the male. No hatchlings for a while. He's in hospital. He probably was a little too aggressive breeding, and they wanted to make sure that he knew not to do that anymore. Confused says, do you recommend medicated or non-medicated feed, and why? That's a very good question. Either one is fine. The only reason, so we don't do medicated feed for layers, and I don't recommend that. Technically, if you're feeding medicated feed, you're not supposed to butcher for 2 weeks until the feed has completely passed, because there's extra stuff in it. The medicated feed we use for the starter growers is a natural medication. So it's not as strong, but that's kind of just what it comes in rather than making our own. So we decided to do that, but we've done both in the past. I don't see a difference in medicated versus non-medicated, but we've never done medicated feed for our layers. This is driving me crazy. Hold on just a second. Why is it not working? Okay, I'm sorry. Let's see. Confused says, do you recommend... nope, I already read that one. If you can, put a question. With your question, put a couple exclamation points at the very end. That's very easy for me to see. How long are quail eggs good to eat? And how to best store for eating? It's a very good question, Linda. So we recommend 2 weeks. I know a lot of people do a lot longer and a lot less. But what we do and what we sell and how we sell them and what we recommend to them and what works best for us is 2 weeks after they're laid. And it's either 2 weeks in the fridge or 2 weeks room temperature on the counter. It's one way or the other. And that seems to work best. So if you've got them in the fridge, keep them in the fridge until the 2-week expiration date. If you have them on the counter for a couple days, just leave them out. Don't start refrigerating them. And so that's what we tell everybody. And that's what all of our corporate accounts tell everybody as well. And that just seems to work best. Uh, Hold on, I'm sorry. Okay, Andrea says, can you ship live quail to Alaska? We can. I would prefer to wait until spring with Alaska. It gets super cold there. We still will guarantee them if you want to order those. The eggs seem to do fine shipping to Alaska. That's not a big deal. The live quail is a little bit trickier. I would wait on the live quail. I'd get hatching eggs. We actually just hatched out, or someone in Alaska just hatched out about 2 weeks ago, and they had about a 71% hatch rate, somewhere around there, 71%. So the eggs are still doing good, but I'm a little concerned about the live quail to Alaska. So I would probably wait on those. Good question. Mandy says, how soon can you butcher or best age to butcher? Very good question. So I recommend, I'm going to try to, since I can't do it like normal. Yeah, that'll be easy for me. I forget the question now. How soon can you butcher? So a lot of people say a lot of different things. For example, Kevin and Sarah at Living Traditions Homestead says 6 to 8 weeks. I really like the 8 week. If you're not going to do 8 and you want them a little bit bigger than 10, but we have done some tests here, and as far as how much they gain in weight from week 8 to 10 is not really worth the feed cost, in my opinion. So we butcher at 8 weeks old. But like I said, some people butcher at 6, some people butcher at 10, some people butcher at 12. But I like the 8 weeks. James Owens is in the house. Hello, family and birds from Central Texas. Zach, do you have black quail, and will you have hatching eggs for sales soon? If so, yeah. So the black quail in the United States is actually a growl fee. The black quail is kind of just like an advertising thing. So you can get very dark quail, almost like black, by either breeding Tibetan with the Tibetan for numerous generations, or growl fee with Tibetan, and that will get darker. We actually used our growl fee with rosettas to make them dark, but also have a really cool feather pattern on the back to make them a little unique. So that's the way we went, rather than just having a very dark quail, because of my thought process on it was a very dark quail is a Tibetan anyway. So that's why we did that. But that's a very good question. Tim is in the house. Can I place an order for hatching eggs and schedule a shipping date later on? Yes, you can. That's a great question. So when you check out on our website, which is myshirefarm.com, you can actually go to the notes section at checkout and put a request date for the week. Try not to do a day. That's kind of hard for me to do, but ship the week of January 3rd, or ship the week of January 12th, or whatever the case may be. And we can definitely do that, but a specific day is a little bit harder for me to do. You would need to get with me personally to have a very specific ship day, but that's a great question. Real quick, so on Sundays, we do about a 3-hour live. We all hang out, we all talk. I read all the comments. Mondays is just questions. So if you guys want to talk to each other, that's completely fine. I'm cool with that. I will be skipping those just because this is more for the people that just want to go, and I'm already screwing up because I'm already talking and not answering questions. My phone's acting up, and I was a minute late, so I am sorry for everything. I'll do better next week, I promise. Mark is in the house, has questions. So before I got my Govee, I had my eggs in the incubator, and apparently the first week temp was 97.5. It has since been corrected. Will I still have eggs hatch first week? Yes, you could. It's still salvageable. I probably would not put them into lockdown until day 16. And I would probably let them run. I'd probably let them run to about day 22, 23. Yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah, so I'd put them into lockdown a day or two later than what you were planning on doing, and then leave them in longer. But you should still have a decent. You should still have quite a bit of them hatch. If I had to guess, and this is just a guess, hopefully you'll do a lot better. I'm thinking probably around 40%. It's a hard call, but yeah, keep going. You'll still get some. Andrew says, sorry if this is a repeat. I asked last night, but I had to step away and couldn't find it in the replay. Any hydrometer you like that is not Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, just wired? I did not find any. We tried 3 out that were not Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. I didn't find any that was very consistent, that was very user friendly. Not that there's not some out there. If someone has one, feel free to contact me this week with the link. I'll check it out and put it on our Amazon store. Under the customer reviews or customer recommendations, but I did not find one out of the 3, and I picked the top 3 recommended ones on Amazon is the ones that I chose for that. That's really what I did, was I picked the top 3 like that, and then the top 3 recommended for Bluetooth / Wi-Fi. Joe Sandy 1822 says, are jumbo white hatching eggs usually available? For the most part, yes. We got a little busy. I will credit that to Living Traditions Homestead. I wasn't exactly prepared for all of that. But yeah, they're usually ready. They're available on the website now, but probably between now and January, February, March, probably between now and mid-April, any and all jumbos will probably be about a 2-week wait. So they'll still be laid same day as shipped, but we just have massive orders. And that's a good thing. So just hang in there. They're worth it. I promise. Just give me a chance. We'll make sure you get taken care of. Dale says, you like the meme I made for you, Zach? I have not been able to check. I had my phone caught up at about 4 o'clock, and then I got super slammed with some stuff. Can I put you maybe like here? Then I don't... Oh, shoot. Hold, please. Okay. Yeah. All right. I like that. I have not checked it out, so I will look at that. And now I lost my spot. Give me just a second so I can find. There we go. I have not looked at it. I'll take a look at it. Yusuf says, what low temperature kills the egg, and what high temperature kills the egg in the incubator? It's a good question. I mean, usually about 96 to 97 will kill the egg. Usually 101 and above will kill the eggs, or start killing the eggs. But anything anything that's 101 or above, usually about anything that's 100.5 and above is going to start really affecting your hatch and fertility rate. Or well, your hatch rate, fertility is already done, but it'll kill the development. And then usually about 98 and below is going to really start affecting it. And hopefully that's what you were asking. And again, if you can, put your question with a bunch of question mark or bunch of exclamation points at the end. I can spot those out very fast. PJ's Family's Farm says, just had my largest jumbo wild male die suddenly. No signs of fighting. Cage is only a foot tall. Any ideas what could have caused it? 6 weeks old. No, I mean, I don't know for sure. Could have been frightened. I don't know. I would, yeah, it's hard to say, especially if there's no clues, Unfortunately, I'm sorry. Robert says, howdy from Virginia. When I go to your Amazon page from the link on YouTube, it comes up blank. Please post link in chat. Okay. Verna, if you could do that, I would appreciate it, and I would assume Robert would as well. Hello, Zach and everyone. Question, not quail related, but are you ready for the holidays? It's a good question, and yeah, we're completely done shopping, and but man, we are busy right now, so our calendar is booked with all the kids' different stuff and family get-togethers and YouTube videos and barn itself, and oh, it's busy time of the year. Doug says, my eggs feel super cold and the temps are in the mid-30s when I usually find them. Heat only to keep water from freezing. Will this affect fertility? It can. So here's just a tip that you can use, and maybe you can modify it to better suit you. But if you can find out when they start laying, they typically lay the same time every day. So for example, let's say our quail lay between 2 and 5 o'clock. That's not the right times, but I can't remember right now. But let's say they lay between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. every day. So at 5:30 is when I go out and fill up the feed at the end of the day and check the waters, and then I collect the eggs then. So keep that in mind. So usually you can find what their schedule is and kind of work around that. So that's just a thought that maybe you can work with. For cooking, is it 4 quail eggs to 1 chicken egg? I think it's more 3 than anything else. And you need to remember that it's not just the size. The nutrients and all that stuff in the quail egg is 2 to 3 times more than a chicken egg. So it is going to fill you up even more. So it's about 3 to 3.5 times. It's about 3 to 3.5 quail eggs to equal the volume of a chicken egg. However, those are going to fill you up faster. So it's probably more like 3, probably 3. Nikki James says, will I ever be able to integrate my female in a group? She is 8 weeks old. I put her and 3 other litter mates with a male, and 2 other females did change the pen completely. She got beat up. Yeah, so if you go to our website, myshirefarm.com, there's a blog called Introducing New Quail to an Existing Flock. You could follow that, and you should be good to go. It works for us every single time. Yeah, that should work just fine. Witch Doctor says, has anyone use a drill in plucker? We usually take the skin off, but I want to try quail with skin on. We've never tried a drill in plucker. We do have a plucker on our Amazon store. That's the one we actually use. Because we do so many in bulk, at least for us, we can, the entire process from getting it out, calling it, butchering it, cleaning it, and vacuum sealing it takes us about 2 minutes of quail when we skin. When we pluck, it takes about 3.5 to 4 minutes. So when we're doing about 500 or 3 to 500 in a day, we used to use it. It's a lot cleaner that way. But because we do so many, we just don't have the time to extra do that. So we just skin now. But we have used and probably will in the future use the plucker that we have on the Amazon store. It's a fantastic plucker. There's nothing wrong with it. It just takes, you got to scald, and then you got to, so it's just those extra steps that we didn't have the time for. It's a very good question. Has not just read that one. Healed tried another group, same. She appears to be the aggressor. So what you would want to do, yeah, just check out the blog, and that should work fine for you. Why, when I got hatching eggs from QuailCon from you, I had a 75% hatch rate, but whenever I got shipped eggs from you or someone else, I never had higher hatch rate than 55%. Well, you probably want to go a little bit long. I don't know. Could be the luck of the draw, could be shipping, could be your post office. It's hard to say. Could be different times of the year. I don't know. I know you flew them back, so it's not the altitude, it's not the x-ray. It's hard to say. I would say either shipping issue or maybe different times of the year. It's hard to say. Tim is in the house. How can I set up a brooder in an unheated garage? Do I need to heat the entire brooder to 95 degrees and have an extra area with the heat lamp, or would the heat lamp be enough? The heat lamp will be enough. I actually just went to the store today and bought a crap ton of stuff to do a video, hopefully tomorrow. And it'll be different ways to set up brooders. And hopefully that'll help you a lot, and that'll give you a lot of answers to that question and a lot that involve that question as well. So stay tuned. I think I'm going to have a very good video for you tomorrow or Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. But to answer your question quickly, no, a heat lamp will be just fine. It doesn't need to be heated or insulated. A heat lamp will do just fine. What is the most popular quail? Jumbo Wilds. What is the best brand of incubator to purchase? That's a great question. I don't know. We did just purchase one. Well, we just got one incubator in, and we just bought another one. We're going to do reviews on those to let you guys know what we think of them. But I don't have experience with store-bought incubators except for the GQF, which I swear by, but they are expensive. They're not... they're definitely not for starters. Those are for major hatching. Um, but but I don't know. But on our Amazon store, you can go to the customer recommendations, and there's 3 or 4 on there that a lot of customers recommend. So, like Kevin and Sarah from Living Traditions Homestead really recommend the Brincia. That's on there. A lot of people recommend the Nurture Right 360. That's on there. The Humidifier, which is what I really like, and I'm rooting that that's the best one I like, but I don't know for sure. That's on there. But the Humidifier is made by GQF. It's just a cheaper version. It's a a tabletop version. So I just like the GQF brand. But I don't know for sure. But you can definitely check those out. And we'll be doing reviews on those shortly. I'll be putting eggs in for the Nurture Right 360 probably tomorrow. So we'll start that video, but obviously it won't come out for another 18 days. Don says, can I put 10? Yep. Can I put 10 hens and 2 roosters in one cage? Or no, you can do 10 and 2. We actually do colony cages here, which is a lot. So, for example, we do like 50 and 16 or something like that. We don't. Those are just odd numbers. But yeah, we put a lot of hens and a lot of males together. It's colony breeding, and it's completely fine. That's what we do here. Or you can do it the 5 and 1 in separate little areas. You can do that too. But to me, the colony is a lot easier, less feed, less watering issues. You have them all in one spot, a lot faster to take care of. So I really like the larger cages. Richard says, I purchased the pansy fee eggs. So far, only 4 hatched. Are they generally slow hatchers? Nope. They hatch just like the rest of them. Richard, what I'd like you to do is, hopefully you're still on. If you are, let me know. What I'd like you to do is increase the temperature by 1 degree, increase the humidity by 10%, and let me know in about 48 to 72 hours how it goes. But yeah, definitely increase the humidity by 10% right away, the temperature by 1 degree right away, and give it 48 hours and then contact me. S. McKee says, are any quail eggs one solid color, or do I have a weird hen who lays solid blue eggs? No. Usually with the Celadons, you can do solid blue. We've got quite a bit of solid blue, and then we've got a lot with the speckles on it and things like that. So I mean, it's not like normal, but it's not like out of this world either. Dr. Connie says, Zach, did you find a minute to find the fodder video? I think Ed sent that to me last night. Mondays are my crazy day. It's absolutely insane here with orders going out and getting ready for tomorrow, this, that, and the other. So that is probably on my list for Wednesday. And I will definitely let you know by the next live on what video I found and what I like. But I definitely want to check that out first before I recommend anything. Victoria says, getting some double yolks. Is it purely genetic or even environmental causes this? I don't think it's environmental. I think it's genetic. But it's also, I also think it's recessive, but I don't know that for sure. But I'm pretty sure it's recessive. So you just don't know. But no, it's a genetic thing. Found your channel because of them. Living Traditions Homestead, awesome. Ryan says, do I need any special type of light to keep the quail laying in winter? I mean, to extend daylight to 14 hours, or is any old bulb good? Any old bulb is good. You don't need to overthink it. We really like LEDs full spectrum, but any light is fine. A lot of people do the Christmas lights wrapped around the cages, and that works great for them. So don't overthink it. A regular, 25-watt bulb will do just fine too. And anywhere from 14 to 16 hours is ideal. Are the little giant incubators good enough? They're low on my list from what customers have said. I don't have personal experience, but that is one that we're actually going to order. I've not ordered that yet. I ordered the Nurture Right 360. That's in. I just ordered the Humidifier, and then next on my list is actually the Little Giant, and then there's another one. I forget what it's called, but I wrote it down. A lot of people recommended that one. So those are the 4 we're going to try out. Mary says, good evening. This This past week, I had 48 eggs out of 60 Myshire mixed eggs hatch. Best hatch ever. Awesome. Congratulations. I did not bring my stuff in here. Verna, if you'll write that down for me, I would appreciate it so I can mark that on my records. I completely forgot. I'm telling you, I I was running in here, so I apologize. S not S says, is it normal for week-old chicks to lay down stretched out? Yes, it is. They look like they're dead. They're not. They're just getting comfy. How many males and female do you keep together in one cage? Is there ratios to stick to? Yeah, I don't follow this because we need to make sure that our eggs are very, very fertile for shipping all over the US. But I really recommend 5 hens to 1 male. You will get a high fertility rate, as well as your hens will look really good for a long term. So I really like the 5 hens to 1 male. And again, you can do the colony, so you can have, 10 and 2, 15 and 3, 20 and 4, keep going, whatever you want to do. Do quail die from heart attacks like chickens do? Sometimes, sometimes. Usually they're a little bit older, but it could happen, yeah. At what age can I move chicks to 1/2 inch by 1 inch coated wire? I like to recommend 3 to 4 weeks. 3 weeks would be fine. But again, just remember it's winter, so you might want to keep them inside for an extra week. But 3 weeks, they can go on the 1/2 by 1. Very good question. Mandy says, is it safe to butcher and eat any that has been picked on back of necks? Yep, that's not a problem at all. They taste just as good. Just won't be as pretty. Jared says, watch last night, asked a question about incubator. Would you advise doing a do-it-yourself incubator or buying the incubator for $450 that Living Tradition had bought and on their Amazon page? That's a good question. I want to try the Brincia. I've heard great things about it. George, which is my help, he said that Brincia is better than GQF. So we're probably gonna maybe buy one of those. The only reason that that's not on my list right now is because Living Traditions already recommends it. And I have heard amazing things about them. I know they're a little expensive, but I have heard amazing things about them. I would assume it's worth the money. If you're just starting out, I'm not a big fan of do-it-yourself incubators. I think you need to get the hang of it first. A $450 incubator, maybe not, kind of a cheap one, just to, get the kinks out and understand the process and things like that. So I don't necessarily like the whole build your incubator right away kind of thing. But, I mean, everybody's different, so you do you. Miko Acres Rick says, for the record, the plucker is not on the Amazon store. Should be. I will put that on tomorrow. I apologize. Ed, will you write that down and send that to me? I have no note-taking information at all right now. Oh, nope, no pen. I've got paper. Okay, thank you for letting me know. Eagle Ridge says, has anyone dealt with educating HOA authorities in the hopes of allowing HOA bylaw clarifications? Desire 5 hens and 1 male egg production system. Surely this shouldn't cause neighbor complaints. As far as I know, and you'll have to check, so quail are not considered poultry. They're not considered like chickens or anything like that. For a couple different reasons. Number one, they're not native to here. Number two, they don't go broody. There's a couple different reasons. So they don't really have any laws. HOA I know is a little bit different and it changes everywhere, but there's all but one HOA I know of that specifically mentioned quail. So you should be kind. Or you should be fine. I don't know why I said kind. I was reading another comment. So you should be fine. Worst case scenario is you just do all hens, and just get the eating eggs, and then like when they're like a year and a half old, just go get a male real quick from someone down the street, and then incubate for like 2 weeks, and then just switch them out. I don't. As far as I know, there's no HOA laws except for one that says that you can't have quail, but everything else says chicken, and then you can prove that quail, according to law, is not considered poultry. So you could do it that way. Hopefully that helped. Julia says, how do you manage your orders when quail molt or get stressed? Start a wait list and wait it out, or stage ages of layers? It's a very good question. We have a lot of them, and they are different ages. So we have multiple cages, and they're all different ages. So then when one molts, we still have plenty of coming in. It's a good question. Have you ever thought maybe the wife would like to share her favorite quail recipes? That would be great to watch. We're working on it. It's something in the works. My friend in Alaska is considering quail. She's thinking to keep them in the garage. She wondered if they'll be harmed when they open the garage doors. I'm thinking they'll be fine. No, they'll get used to it. They'll freak out for a little bit. But like I said, we used to have them in our garage, and when I'd open the door in the morning, because we closed it at night, when I'd open the door in the morning, the first couple of days they'd freak out, and then after that they're like, hey, it's time to eat. So yeah, they get used to it. Not a big deal at all. How many eggs does the GQF incubator hold? How many eggs does your commercial 2-door incubator hold? I don't know. Well, the Gigantor is 7,700 eggs. I memorized that. The GQF is, I think, like 2,400. The GQF is 2, 4, 6, 8, 16, 20, like 2,400, maybe a little bit less. I think it's 2,200, but I can't remember. In the description of the GQF, like on our Amazon store, you can just click on it. It'll go to the actual description of it. It'll say how many quail eggs can fit in there. I think it's like 2,200 though. Witch Doctor says, has anyone ever hooked up an external humidifier to pump into the incubator? It's extremely dry in Vegas. We use the humidikit. Crap, that's not on the Amazon store either. Yeah, it's not on there. Ed, if you'll write that down as well, the humidikit that we use to put on the Amazon store, I would appreciate it. Still on and will do things. Oh, great. Yeah, and give it 48 hours before you see anything. Richard, if you're still on, what day are you on? There's no reason to have males unless you want to hatch the eggs, correct? Yep, absolutely. The hens will lay just fine without the males. There we go. I'm starting to see the exclamation points. Wonderful. I have 3 quail from the same hatch and have been living together. They are 6 weeks old now, and this week one of the hen is picking on the other hen. Help, please. They're probably, if they've been together this whole time, they're probably just testing each other. I would probably let it go unless it's turning in violent. If so, then I would take the aggressor out, not the one that's getting picked on. Take the aggressor out, leave them out for about, I don't know, an hour, and just into a small little dark box, and then put them back in there, because it's most likely a territorial issue and kind of just showing where everybody's at. But if they go in late, then they're not going to be territorial. Moon Outdoors says that in your brooder, how high is the light up off of the wire on the floor, on the wall of the brooder? What? In your brooder, how high is the light up off of the wire? Oh. It's a good question. 8 inches, maybe? Probably 8 inches. Somewhere around 6 to 8 inches. I will put that in my video that I do this week, because we'll be talking about different ways to brood and cheap ways to start raising quail with different brooding processes. So Ed, will you write that down and send that to me as well? Put in the video how high our light is. From what we have, each hen has a repeated egg pattern. Yeah, they'll be very similar each day. Usually they're not exact. And usually when, okay, here's the best way to explain it. Usually when they molt, they change patterns. There you go. Can you put in 3-week-old birds with adults in a colony? Nope, that's not recommended. You usually don't want to put younger quail in with older quail until they're at least 6 to 8 weeks old. Otherwise, they're gonna really get beat up. Little giant incubators are hit and miss. I could never get a decent hatch with the one I had. I've heard that a lot. We are going to try it out just so people know. Yeah, I think that as well. We have a little giant, but we have 3 additional hydrometer thermometers inside. Well, that's a good point too. I'm a big believer that you can get a great hatch rate from any incubator as long as you control it. So multiple thermometers, hydrometers in there, you're balancing it out, you're not trusting it, and you'll still get a great hatch rate. But there's a lot of maintenance work involved with working lesser quality incubators. But yeah, you can get a good hatch rate from any incubator. Is light color important? I have red rope light that lights up nice. Is light color important? For laying, probably. I would say yes. Quail can see color, or some color. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would say, but I don't know that for sure. I don't know that for sure. For laying, for growing out, then no, it doesn't matter at all. But for laying, probably, but I don't know that for sure. So I'm just gonna say I don't know. Michael says, are there any breeders that work with a solid black quail? I don't know. I don't know who is saying that they have black quail in the States. Dan says, can I supplement feed with Moringa and comfrey, and can it be fed dehydrated and mixed with feed, or should it be fresh? I know not a lot. I know some people that are doing that and they do dehydrate it. I don't know of anybody that's doing it fresh. I know it's dehydrated. I've never, I haven't done it, so I don't know. But I do know a lot of customers that's been doing that, that's dehydrating it. So yeah, you can. Can I run an incubator off grid? Solar, yeah, absolutely. Can you do a review on Incubator Warehouse's egg-shaped thermometer? They claim it better tells the egg's actual temp on the inside. Can you do a review on Incubator Warehouse's egg-shaped thermometer? That is not one I saw. Yeah, Verna or Ed, if you can write that down, I'll take a look at it. I'll take a look at it. To make sure you have high hatch rate to sell eggs, what's your male to female ratio? To make sure you have a high hatch rate. Yeah, if you're not shipping, I really recommend a 5 to 1. I really, really do. It's going to keep your hens very happy, looking very good. If you're going to be shipping all over the States, you probably should do a 4 to 1. But I really don't like it. You really should stick with a 5 to 1. It's just best practice to keep your hens looking really good. What sizes do you have your colony cages? What is a good dimension on a colony cage? And rollout pin, can you use video on how to build what you use? Papa the Builder does have a couple videos on building cages, and some overall question and answers and things like that. Yeah, I mean, don't know how I want to answer that question. Oh, okay. We recommend 3 quail per square foot for jumbos, 3.5 quail per square foot for standards. So you just need to look at the space that you have, and how big of a space you need, and how many quail you're wanting. You know, I mean, if you're wanting, if you want to have 15 quail, then there's no reason to build a 10 by 4 cage. You don't need that much space. If you're wanting to raise a lot, then look at your space and say, okay, well, I can fit a, typically, 10 to 12 foot cage is pretty nice. You don't really want to go past that. I mean, I guess you could, it doesn't really matter, but as far as stability goes, it's nice to 10 to 12 foot. Then you're not cutting wood and things like that. You could go to 14. Well, I guess they go up all the way, but, yeah, so if you've got a wall that you want to put it up against, and that wall is 16 foot, then you can do a 14-foot cage and have a little bit of extra room on the side, and you're good to go. So just keep in mind that it's 3 quail per square foot for jumbos, 3.5 quail per square foot for standards. What sizes do you have? Oh, I just read that one. Dora says, can you explain the breeding between Jumbo Wild and Egyptians and the sexing for only the first generation, how to continue to get the pre-sex chicks? Yeah. Okay, so there's Jumbo Wilds. We all know what those are, right? I don't think so, Vern. I don't think anymore. I think he does not. I don't think so. I could be wrong. I really don't check on other farms. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, here we go. Jumbo Wilds. If you can, hit the like button, support the channel. I'm doing my best. It's been a bad live, and I apologize. I was not ready. My phone's not working right. I was late, but I am trying, and I'm trying to answer. So hit the like button, support the channel. I'd appreciate it. Okay, so we all know what Jumbo Wilds are. There's something called the roux gene. The roux gene is the redhead of the Caternix family. So if you put that roux gene into something, it's going to be that color, only the red version of that. So the redhead of the wild is called the Egyptian. Same quail, it just carries the roux gene, which means that it has a light red color tint to it, where the wilds are dark brown. That is the only difference between wilds and Egyptians. Now, we sell sex links, which means when you hatch those out, you don't have to wait 3 weeks to feather sex them because they're both feather sexable, because they're both the same quail, just one has a roux gene in it. You don't have to wait three weeks. You know, on day one, the light red ones are hens. Yep, the light red ones are hens and the dark brown ones are males. Day one. In the incubator, or in the lockdown, you open up the tray and you know which ones are which immediately. Now, you can't reproduce that, but we do it. You can make sex links by having Egyptian males, so the redhead male with the wild females. They hatch out opposite of what you actually need. So if you have Jumbo Wilds and Jumbo Egyptians, to keep doing the sex links, you really need 3 cages. You need a cage of wilds, a cage of Egyptians, and a cage of sex links. Then you've got sex links all the time, and you can keep reproducing the sex links. But you need, to make sex links, you need Jumbo Wild hens and Jumbo Egyptian males. You put those together, it is 100% sex links every time. They hatch out the opposite of what those are. So they hatch out wild males and Egyptian females. Yeah. So if you have a cage of wilds and have a cage of Egyptians, big or small, it doesn't matter. Then when they hatch out, you know, if you have wilds, they'll hatch out male and female. The Egyptian cage will hatch out male and female. Then you can combine and create sex links. I hope that answers the question. Now, the ones that hatch out that are sex linked, that hatch out opposite. So if you buy sex links, you know on day one, but you can't reproduce it. If you put those together, you'll start getting both sexes of both genes. And then you can, so if you, I'm making this way more confusing than what it should be, and I'm so sorry. I just asked you to hit the like button, and then I'm just rambling on in nonsense. If you hatch out sex links and you put those together, you're going to get wild males and wild females. You're going to get Egyptian males and Egyptian females. Then you can start producing your own sex links for years to come. I should have said that in the stupid first place. Mary says, is there a way to tell the color a chick might be when they are feathered? Is there a way to tell the colors a chick might be when they are feathered? Yes. I don't know what that means, Mary. I'm sorry. Yeah. When they're about 2 weeks old, you know what color they are. Like, you know what it is. It's a little tricky the first couple of days. Some are not. Tuxedos, you know right away. Wilds, you know right away. Egyptians, you know right away. But like pearls, Italians, snowies, Tibetan Rosetta is a little tricky. Pansy's a little tricky. Sparkly's a little tricky. There's some that are tricky when they're first hatched. But by a week to week and a half old, you know exactly what you have. I hope that answers your question. Can I run an incubator off grid? Yes, you can. I mean, you need solar power, but yeah, or a generator. How fast do you deliver adults? Airmail delivery. They go priority mail in the USPS, and we ship live quail out every Tuesday. Richard says lockdown on 12/2. Ooh, that's a little late. I wish you would have told me beforehand. Yeah. Yes. Increase those numbers immediately. The Amazon seller for the Nurture Right 360 says the turner will not work for quail. Is there a hack? Turner will not work for quail. I've not tried it yet. As far as I know, you can just put 2 in each one of those, but I don't know for sure until I try it tomorrow. But I've not heard that before. You can buy quail egg racks for the Nurture Right 360. Electric Iris, I believe, is on Etsy. It might be even on Amazon. I'm not too sure. But they sell them, so you can check that out. Hopefully I'm not missing any questions. Not talking to me, not talking to me. Have you experimented with dry incubation? That does not work here. Doing a dry hatch is more in very humid areas. Ohio is not. Utah, Colorado, Florida's pretty humid. Texas is pretty humid. A lot of people in those areas will do a dry hatch or a dry incubation. But that would not work here because we're not anywhere close to having a high humidity here. Someone said, yes, keep away from blue lights. We've never tried the blue lights. That claims he has black. Okay. I didn't know. I was told that he no longer sells, but I could be wrong. I know there was some people that were selling blacks a while ago, and then there was a lot of health issues. And yeah, just be careful. I'm not a very big fan of the whole black thing for many different reasons. So just, if you do it, then that's fine. Just be careful with it. Any thoughts on using a chicken egg turner and not buying the quail adaptation? It's a good question. So we used to, when we first started, we were raising them just for us, and we would put we used the chicken egg holders because that's what we had, and we didn't want to buy quail egg holders. And so we would actually put a piece of the paper towel and then fit them right in there. The jumbos, you will only need a little bit. The standards, probably a little bit more. But yeah, you can just put some paper towel in there, make it fit right in spot, and you could do that. That would be completely fine. We used to do that all the time. 58 out of 115 people hit the like button, support channel. I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much. Understood the answer perfectly, Zach. Wonderful. Forget what the question was, but I'm glad I answered it. Is your colony cages on the ground? Nope. We actually have a playlist if you want to check out our setup. It is the Quail Barn Tours playlist, I believe. There's a tab on our YouTube channel, Myshire Farm, under playlists. I know we have the most popular playlists on our main page, but if on the playlist, there's a lot more playlists you can check out, but there's one called Quail Barn Tours, and it'll show you our setup, but they're actually hanging from the ceiling. We used the egg warehouse thermometer. It definitely helped our hatch, but we still had to add a Govee hydrometer thermometer to double check everything. That's very good information. Thank you very much. I will keep that in mind. Mandy says, are they a problem with raising quail on ground? What do you use for worming and how often? So we haven't raised any on the ground for many moons. Many moons. I can tell you that Slightly Redneck is a channel that I recommend. It is on our main page on a must-watch channel. He did a video not too long ago about worming and deworming and just, information about that. You can definitely check that video out. And a lot of people raise them on the ground. Christina, Jasmine Bass, both of them are on Facebook. They're usually on here. I've not seen them tonight, but both of them use aviaries. A lot of people use aviaries, and they're on the ground, and they don't have any issues at all. But I don't have a lot of experience with that because I don't remember a lot. But yeah, that was many years ago. I like that your videos are not perfect, but you are sincerely passionate about helping us all learn about quail. Thank you very much. Hopefully in the next couple of months, they'll be both. They won't be as frustrating, as annoying. They'll be better. I don't think I'll ever be perfect, but they'll be better. And I'll still have the same enthusiasm, and you'll get better information quicker. I'm trying to limit my wordage in my videos. I don't know if that's going to stay. I'm kind of a talker. You know, I just want to explain. I want to give you I don't want to just give you the answer. I want to give you the mindset behind the answer so that you understand it, so that you can look more into it. Because the way I learn is if I ask a question and someone gives me the answer, my brain cannot function in problem solving and troubleshooting because I just know the answer. I don't know the why behind it. But if you tell me the why, then I can start saying, okay, well, this is the answer, but it's because of this. And then I can start saying, maybe I could do it better this way, or whatever the case may be. So that's just the way I am. I'm sorry. How much space do chicks need in a brooder? Very good question. I recommend 6 chicks per square foot until they're 3 weeks old, and then move them to about 3 to 3.5 quail per square foot after that. I have 34 in a large plastic tote, and they are snug but seem fine. At what point will I know if they need more space? So their feathers will kind of look a little wet and silky. That means they're getting way too hot. They'll be kind of slimy to the touch, the feathers will be. And then they'll start picking out their feathers on their back. And those do not grow back ever, even when they molt, because they get too hot. So they're trying to pull their feathers out to get cooler. So if they are 3 weeks old, it needs to be around 3 to 3.5 quail per square foot. But for the first 3 weeks, 6 chicks per square foot is ideal. And we don't have any issues with back feathers being pulled out or overcrowding or anything like that. Silverback says, what time do your jumbo wilds hit the website for sale tomorrow? Very good question. I don't know. We've got a lot of eggs going out tomorrow, and that's my first priority. So when as soon as I get back from the post office, I'm doing that. So how my day usually goes is we go in, we feed, we water, we do a look around, make sure everything's good, and we do egg count, we do dead inventory, then we collect eggs, then we box them all up, then we go to the post office, and then I do my phone, emails, orders, and anything else that's on electronics. So that's when I'll do it. I won't do my phone or emails or anything like that until I post it. I would say probably around 1 or 2 o'clock. It's going to be a long day tomorrow. It was a long day today, too. It's a long week. Probably around 1 o'clock. I will do my very best to get it as soon as possible. But that is my plan. So that stuff, and then my phone, emails, orders, all that jazz, putting that on the website, and then working on the video I want to post. So busy day. Something else is going on tomorrow too, but I can't remember. I'm thinking of raising quail. Wonderful. Love for you to do it. Starting with the starter kit, the 5 female, 1 males. Should I wait for the weather to change to spring? We get here low 18 degrees in winter, Southern California. It's a great question. It's up to you. They do fine. We ship year round. We ship them when they're a little bit older. So we turn the heat lights off at 3 weeks old. So, you know, end of spring, all of summer, first of fall, we ship them when they're 3 weeks old. They do just fine. The colder it gets, the longer they are. So the longer we wait to ship them, so the older they are. So no matter what, whenever you get the quail, they don't need any heat at all, and they'll do just fine. So yeah, you can order anytime and put them outside or in an unheated garage any time of the year. Hopefully that answers your question. But I mean, if you're more comfortable waiting till spring, we're here for you. We'll be here. It's not a big deal. But But if you want to order now, then we'll make sure you get taken care of. And we do guarantee that all of our quail arrive happy and healthy. How are you liking your Wynola Ranch jumbo cage? It is awesome. It is really, really cool. So we're actually using that for jumbos. It's amazing. I really, really like it. Everyone should check that out. We actually have a video on our YouTube channel. It's under Quail product reviews, I believe, is the playlist. But it is a Myshire exclusive cage by Wynola Ranch. And man, that thing is the nicest cage I've ever seen. Love watching these live streams. I learned so much. Thank you very much, Storm Riders Wheels, and good luck to the 18 and under contest. Any advice to tame a quail? Make sure that it always has feed and water. It sees you every day, and yeah, it'll get used to you. Yeah, just be around them. All of our quail they don't really get scared of anything, and I can pull them out. There's some of them that don't like me, but for the most part, I would say out of our 5,990 of them, I can pull them out anytime I want and just set them down, and they do just fine. How bad is the odor when brooder boxes in the closet? It's a very good question. They can get smelly, but I've got a tip for you that will be in the next video, so stay tuned for that. I am very excited. I've got a lot of really cool tips for you, so stay tuned. I don't want to give all the tips away before you watch the video, or you won't watch the video. And I'm putting a lot of effort into this video, and I just went to go spend a lot of stuff for stuff that I usually won't use because we've got our own setup, but I wanted to show you the setup. So stay tuned. Hi, Zach, great to see you. Great that you're here. I don't see you, but when do you ship out eggs, and will I know when they ship? Yes, you will. As soon as they're laid. It's first come, first serve as far as orders go. So that's kind of hard to say, but they're shipped same day as laid. They're shipped same day as laid. Yeah, that's correct. That's how I say it. And yes, the day before we ship them, I will get the foamer ready and the box ready, and then we'll collect the eggs as soon as they get laid the next day, and then we'll take them to the post office. But the day before is when I get everything prepped, which means we print out the label and we automatically email you a tracking number, and then that means it's going out the next day. Hopefully that answers your question. Being verbose isn't a problem, Zach. Bring on the info. There you go. Thank you. Ours are in the ground, and we have not had any issues with parasites. We do deep litter. There you go. There's really not a lot of issues with that, especially if they're all together. What is the average lifespan of a quail? Does sex or size play a part? Size plays a part, yeah. The average production lifespan is about 2 years. They can live up to like 6 years old, but they're not going to be productive. So production is about 2 years, and typically the standards will lay more a year. So standard size lays more per year and lays longer. Jumbos are larger eggs and meat, but they lay less throughout the year, not a lot. I think like jumbo wilds lay about 275, 280 eggs a year, but like the Rosettas lay like 310 eggs a year. Rosettas are standard size, jumbo wilds are the largest, so they lay a little bit less, but they are bigger, and then they typically stop, or their productive lifespan is like a year and 8 months, whereas a Rosetta is like 2 years and 3 months or something like that. I probably have those numbers kind of messed up, but we've got a playlist called All About the Colors, and we go through every color that we have, give you average lifespan, average weight, average egg size, what they look like, how to sex them, how to get the color, and everything like that. So you can check that playlist out, and that is called All About the Colors. We are coming to the end of time. Please post last questions now. Thank you very much. Silverback. I don't know what happened. What is this? Repent. I probably said something. Sorry. Have you tried using the Wynola tag bands? We have. Yep, absolutely. They work very well. How do you make a donation? If you did want to make a donation to the channel, we would appreciate it. It's not necessary, but we would appreciate it. And it will go back into the YouTube channel to give you more or better information in a better way, such as buying stuff to review it or spending, better equipment on, cameras or whatever. Sound bites and all that jazz. So if you do want to donate, you can. It's on any live feed, and it's a $ in the comments section. You'll click on that, and it's either, what's it say? Super sticker or super chat. And really, it's just a donation to the channel if you would like to do that. You do not have to, but we would appreciate it. We'll put that to good use. And if you could hit the like button, I would greatly appreciate it. That is free. Somebody asked. I wasn't saying, somebody did ask. Sorry. Rio says, Jumbo Wild hatching eggs are out of stock on the website. When are they expected to ship again? They will be back on the website tomorrow, probably around 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So December 7th, Tuesday, 1 p.m., sometime around there. And they're going to go fast. So if you order, I would expect about a week to 2 week wait because there's a lot of people waiting. But hopefully I'm ready. Great Q&A, Zach. Great questions, everyone. Thank you very much. Glad I caught the last 10 minutes or so. Thanks for the stream night, all. Thank you very much. Learn a bunch. Thanks, Zach and Verna. Thank you very much. We went an hour. That's not too bad. I appreciate all of you that showed up. We will be back Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is a long live. It's about 3 hours long, but we all hang out. I read every comment. We see where you're from. We do average hatch rates. We share stories, all that jazz. It is a lot of fun. Justin, go ahead and ask your question while I'm rambling, and I will answer that real quick for you before I get off. I am having a video, so we are going to be showing you 3 different ways to set up a brooder this week in our video, and then the second video we're doing this week is quail math. So I've got a lot of good videos coming your way. Next week will be a butcher video, which I'm excited about, and then there was another video that I was super excited about, but I don't have my notes with me, and that is why I keep notes, because I can't remember crap ever. So we've got a lot of good things, and then Sunday we'll be back live. We'll all hang out. It's a great community feel, and then next Monday we'll do the live again, and I'll be much better next week. I'll be ready no matter what. My phone will work. I'll be able to get everything situated, and we'll move fast, and I will not be so frazzled. So I apologize again for all of that inconvenience. I lost my spot. Auntie says, really appreciate these live Q&A. Thank you so much. Well, thanks for showing up. I really appreciate you. Justin says, hello, I have one more question. Ask away before I get off. Rio Sales says 111 likes. Got 114. I like it. Thank you very much. Ryan says, great info, Zach. Love watching the live chats and your videos. I didn't know I wanted to raise quail until I watched your videos. Well, thank you very much. That is our goal. Our goal here at Myshire Farm is to educate, encourage, and enthuse others to become more self-sufficient with... That's right, Caternix quail. Mikor Acres Rick says, I ordered jumbo mix last weekend. Do you think they will be going out this week or next? This last weekend. Like a couple of days ago. If it was a couple of days ago, it's probably next week. But I am going as fast as possible. I'm so sorry. Joe Sandy 1822, thank you very much for the $5 donation. I didn't even see it. I'm sorry. My phone is not the way it's supposed to be, so I didn't get a notification, but I did just see it. Thank you very much for the donation. I promise I will put that to good use for all of you to get better info for you all, so thank you very much. I appreciate that. Any recommendations on non-GMO and or organic feed? No, I do not. Do you want my honest opinion? And you don't have to take it. It's completely fine. You do not have to take my my thought on it. But it's very expensive. And I'm not saying it's not good. I'm saying that maybe an all-natural feed is the same price as a regular feed, and it's nowhere the same price as non-GMO. I don't see I don't see the benefit of raising non-GMO quail. I just don't see it. So just keep that in mind. Some people really, that's what they want to do, and that's fine. It's fine. I'm just saying, just look at the cost analysis on that before you do that, because everywhere I've seen that has it is extremely expensive. And there's all natural feeds out there that are very affordable and I think just as good. So just keep that in mind. It's a good question. I'm not disagreeing with you, but just it's a rough thing. My quail haven't started laying and they are over 8 weeks old. Is it because of the daylight? Yes, they need about 14 to 16 hours of light a day to be able to be productive. So yes, it is a light thing. Thank you, Pastime84, for being here. Joe Sandy 1822, again, I really appreciate your donation. That was very kind of you. Thank you very much. Not necessary, but I really do appreciate it. Meekor Acres Rick, I'm glad you were here again. You asked some great questions. Thanks very much. Dalton Johnson, thank you very much for showing up. Animal333, thanks for being here. Confused, thanks, Zach. So appreciate you. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. Ralph Brown says, my eggs arrived in great shape and are now incubating. Thanks, Zach. Awesome. Keep me posted. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Just before you get off, here's a big thing that I'd like everybody to know. If you're having any issues with your incubation, I'd really like you to contact me by like day 17 at the latest. So like if you put them into lockdown and they're not hatching and you're freaking out, I can help you get a really great hatch rate on day 17 and probably even on day 18. But I can't help you if it's too far down. So don't feel that you can't reach out to me. If you've ordered eggs from us and you're on day 17 and you don't see anything pipping, then contact me. We'll fix the incubator temporarily to get a good hatch, and then we can fix it permanently. So just keep that in mind. Okay, the male hasn't started foaming either. Is the daylight also the cause? Yes, it is. Absolutely. Hydrometer video. Yes, it was 2 videos ago. And I can't remember what I even called it. Tips and tricks. Tips and tricks on having a successful hatch and keeping healthy chicks, I think is what it's called. It sounds really long. Maybe I should shorten my topics. I'll think about that. Ed, if you'll write that down, because that's a very long video name. But yeah, it's 2 videos ago. I ordered around the 28th. Then probably end of this week. If you want to, you can reach out to me. I will get them out as soon as possible. You'll get an email. But if you want to reach out to get a more specific date, you're more than welcome to text me. I will take a look at it and try to narrow that down for you. Can you ship to South America? I cannot right now. We used to be approved. We're no longer, just because of the COVID thing. We're working on that, but there's a lot of red tape with COVID, and it's stalled out. So I'm working on it, but not right now. Justin, thank you very much. Thank you for showing up. Nick from Greenfield, Indiana, thank you for all your help. Well, thank you very much for letting me help you. Are there legal restrictions if I ship them to South America myself? Yes, you will want to check that out yourself. But yeah, that is not allowed. You have to do a lot of paperwork. Mandy says, when quail are in the tier cages, what is a good way to save on food waste? That's a very good question. We'll do a video on that. That is on my list. But what I can tell you is what we do is we have a little, well, our setup is completely different, but we do Winola Ranch cages. So what we do is we have a little Tupperware that we put underneath the feed that sits on the poop tray. And so anything that they scratch out or anything like that goes into there. And then each day we put it in, it's a 5-gallon bucket, but there is wire on top. So it's like a sifter. So we put that on top, the poop stays on top of the sifter, the feed goes through, and then we reuse the feed. Something like that. It doesn't have to be exact. It doesn't have to be that. But think of that mindset and you can figure something out where, I've seen a lot of no waste feeders and this, that, and the other. Look, they will find ways to waste it. But if you can reuse it, I think that's a better mindset to go into it. How can you reuse the feed that they waste? So just keep that in mind, and we'll be doing a video on that. Good question. Skittle, I do know what Minecraft is. My kids play it. I have never played it though. I think that is all the questions for tonight. Guys, thank you very much for staying with me. It was planned to be about a half hour. We're at about an hour and 10 minutes, but a lot of that is my fault. I rambled on for some things. I was late, this, that, and the other. I apologize. Again, thank you very much for the donation. Thank you all for hitting the like button. I really appreciate it. You guys are absolutely amazing. I am in the middle of convincing Papa the Builder to do another feeder video on how he builds them, but it's going to be a quick like 10-minute video, so it'll be just real quick, and then in the description we'll kind of have a plan. He's not super hip on it, so I still have some time to do, but I'm pretty sure with how we finished the conversation last time that I'm almost there. So stay tuned for that as well. I'm telling you, we've got a lot of great videos coming your way. I am trying to build this channel as best as I can to get the word out there. I'm trying to give you the best information and be available for you. If you could hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the videos and get the word out there, I would love it. I would really appreciate it. So if you could do that, that would be a huge help to me. And I think the Quail community, because I think I contribute, right? I do something. So again, thank you all for showing up. I appreciate you. Watch for the videos this week, and we will see you next Sunday. Yep, that's what I do. Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the next live. We'll see you then. Have a great night, everybody.